Boom. What up, y'all? This is AD Walker, the Pusher, the Grower, the Motivator. I appreciate you guys for rocking and being with us. Welcome. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Boom. Look at that technology. All right. Let's do this. All right. Let's see. Appreciate you guys for being here. So today, we're talking about transparency, and are men afraid to be transparent? Are men afraid to be transparent? Again, I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us on this amazing Tuesday. Yeah. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. Sorry about the late start. Had a morning. Someone's supposed to be coming and working on the house, so I had to tend to that. But we appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part. So yeah, today let's move this right here. Can I do it right here? And boom! Are men afraid to be transparent? Are men afraid to be transparent? And that's our conversation today. So make sure you share, tag somebody, let everybody know that the Brothers of Legacy are in the building. Because someone needs to hear this, and we're going to dig in. Be transparent ourselves. All right. So hang tight. Hold on. So we look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for rocking with us. Appreciate you guys consistently coming in the building. Podcast. You won't hear that. Always got this. So I'm not mentioning this, but if you're watching on the replay, make sure you check out the podcast. Check out the podcast. It's us on the go, and it honestly, podcast helps us financially. So anybody that sees this show, just check out the podcast. Check out one podcast. Every time we get a listen, we get paid. There's opportunities with Brothers of Legacy, but this is a way for you to contribute without having to give money. Just some of your time. So if you like the Brothers of Legacy and you really want to share the podcast out, especially Apple, share the podcast. Google, share the podcast. It's blessings. Lisa. She said it's raining in San Francisco. I got you. That's not Southern California though, right? It's not Southern, because it never rains. I don't care what nobody says. It never rains. So like I said, today we're talking about, are men afraid to be transparent? All right. So like I said, again, make sure you share, make sure you tag, let everybody know that the Brothers of Legacy are in the building, and we'll be right back right after this right here. Hold on. This. There we go. Let's go moving. And make sure tonight you're checking out the Sisters of the Legacy as well at 8:30 p.m. What else? Yo, make sure, and I'm going to mention at the beginning of the show, make sure you are, if you're in a relationship, make sure you join the Purpose for Forever Intentional Love Challenge. Text P4F at 84576. Text P4F at 84576. If you're booed up in a situationship, however, join it. I'm telling you, it's good. We got a challenge this week. Every Monday you'll get a new challenge. Don't worry, we don't text you all week and bother you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. We'll be right back after this. I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy. Change gon' come. 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 A co-op has to start with ownership.
We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Because this is this is covenant.
The whole point is this, that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this general possible, often vested in the legacy.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Yeah, I would say, this. So we're looking at it slows down the sales process.
Hey, Best. You got work going on?
My bad. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, indeed. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. Give me one moment. Let's see. Is it there? Nope. Let's do this. There we go. All right. Again, thank you guys for supporting and being a part of the Brothers of Legacy. We got, yes. No Solomon's Temple tonight. We're preparing for our workers' meeting. Right? I got it right. Workers' meeting.
Somebody looking for Solomon's Temple. Ain't that something?
Ain't that something?
I mean,
good morning.
Feeling impactful now.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. So today we're talking about, are men afraid to be transparent? And I will challenge to say that transparency with our other brothers, in the midst of our other brothers around each other, are we afraid to be transparent? I'll say for myself, kind of just jumping right into it. Sorry, multitask, but I'm still talking. I'll say for myself, I think when it comes to transparency or the depths of it, it is based on the conversation. Well, two factors. Sorry. Let me take that back because that's a little bit. Based on the conversation and then who's around. Right. So for me, who's around, meaning
there's some distortion in your sound, brother.
Is distortion in my sounds?
Yes.
Still distortion in my sounds?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay.
But like you're talking through a paper bag.
Okay, that's nice. All right. So you know what? Let's do this.
Is it just me that hears AD like that, or can you all comment and say whether or not you hear the distortion when he talks? Somebody say yes or no.
Okay, I'm coming through the mic. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, but it's still doing. All right. Let's
It almost sounds like a battery in a cordless microphone going bad.
Okay. Ooh. All right. So if you can hear me, Pastor, though, if you want to jump in with the transparency, I'm gonna leave and come right back.
It's gone now.
Look at Jesus.
But you do need to turn your volume up.
I don't know what it is. I just touched some things. And it just changed.
Fonzarelli.
Right.
Morning, Mother. Hey, Mom.
Good morning, Mom. All right. Good morning, Lisa. Yeah. All right. So 2 things. So it is the level of conversation and who's around. So what I mean by who's around, I mean, now I think I'm more open because my relationship with my wife is like much better. So pretty much anything I'm probably sharing as far as myself, like, won't be a surprise to her. And so in past, like, if it's people that are connected to us, if I didn't talk to my wife and didn't share, then it looks like, it may look like I'm holding secrets with certain things. But now we have an understanding, my wife knows that if there's some stuff that we're going through that I just need to share some thoughts that I can't speak to her, that I might share with my brothers, we're in that space where we're healthier.
The distortion just came back.
That's good. That's good.
You're not being transparent.
All
Now it's
right.
gone again.
Okay, we're gonna rock for a minute. All right, and then I'm gonna go out and come back once Pastor starts talking. It sounds like I'm in the
Yeah.
tunnel. And so the people around, and then the level of conversation. So if the conversation, is at a certain space, wow, that we're in, it's sharing time. Pastor says something real deep, and then I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable sharing the same level of depth, if that makes sense. Okay, if we, he gets something out, like, man, I'm struggling in this department, and then I would be like, you're not the only one. I'm actually struggling with this, and this, it just, you're feeling comfortable to share in a sense. Now I may lead off. Like if it's my space, I'll definitely lead off because I want people to share. So I gotta be the most transparent. If I'm in someone else's space, I may, like anybody struggling and they mention an area, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take the first dive. I'm struggling in this spot, just to kick it off. And you making that face. Is it really bad?
It's like it's coming and going.
Come on. All right. Okay. So yeah, so that would be me and my transparency, and we'll dig further. So Pastor, do you struggle with being transparent in one-on-one settings or group settings, like getting deep into it? And I'm gonna go and come right back.
Do I struggle? No,
Yeah.
I do not struggle being transparent. In fact, I probably talk too much. I'm not afraid of sharing myself. Did y'all lose me when AD went off? It seems like you lost both of us. If you guys can still hear me and just not see me, just say we hear you, because I don't want to keep talking and be talking to myself.
Hey, Dr. Rollins.
Dr. Rollins said no. I'm
Okay.
not sure. You could see me but not hear me, but that's okay. I guess you could still hear me.
Can see and hear you. Okay, Lisa said that. I can hear you. You good. You sounded clear to me. Am I back in the tunnel?
Yeah, I'm not afraid to share.
Okay.
I maybe at one time I might have been, I just don't know. But it's easier for me to share my feelings or what's on my mind.
Right.
It's easier than it is to hold it in.
It's easier to share than to hold it in.
Yeah.
I
get in trouble probably for putting too much out there.
Right. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Rollins. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
No, your distortion is back. It just came back.
All right. Listen, okay. What we're gonna do? This is what we're gonna do. Because I'll sound fine, so I'll just talk, but I don't want.
Now it's gone again.
Of course it is. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. Spliggity splow. Let's do this one. Oldie but goodie. All right, we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit. All right. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, you can't hear me. I can't hear you yet. I just got to fix one more thing. Boom. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I can hear you. Wonderful. Is it better? All right.
It is.
We got to upgrade our studio a little bit. Let's see.
So, I think that honesty or transparency, what I've learned is you have to be really comfortable, obviously being vulnerable, which requires a high level of the quote unquote emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Right. I think hiding and dishonesty. Now, there's a difference between holding back and being dishonest, but some would say that holding back is not being honest with how you really feel.
Okay.
That's a debate in and of itself.
Right.
You know, but the holding back, you know, that stuff contributes to fear.
Right.
The more you hold back, the more fearful you are of sharing, because you build up this closet of data.
Right.
And now the job becomes protect the data, you know, and you're working harder to protect the data than you are living life, which makes you look dishonest to people, and it will cause people to question you even more.
Right. Right.
So I think it's important for us to learn to value our true selves, and learn to be comfortable with our vulnerabilities, recognizing, and one of the greatest lessons I learned in life is man has no heaven or hell to put me in.
Right. Right. That's big.
You know, love me or
Definitely.
leave me. Either way, I'll get past it, one way or the other. You
Right.
know, and the hope is that, you know, I can be accepted for who I am and be accepted for how I feel about a thing or how I feel about life. But if not, you know, we have to sometimes switch gears, change the channel.
Right.
You know, and that has to be okay. But
Yeah.
I don't want to live a life where I'm afraid to share my feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And and for myself, like I lived like that for quite some time, you know, never feeling in a space to really speak about how I'm feeling, what's going on, you know, feel like you know, it's you feel like you're trapped in a sense, like, man, like two spaces is like I don't want people, you know, I don't want other men looking at me like I'm weak. And then two, ain't none of y'all ain't never been through what I'm going through right now. So you'll never understand, you know.
Which is
Never-
untrue.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
like trying to convince yourself that that's the case, you're lying to yourself, because there's nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
You know,
Man, you don't know.
most people have that button, they just don't want to talk about it.
Right. Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's like the one of the biggest things or struggles is just being able to talk about it and feeling comfortable doing so. And it's funny, like, you know, coming into a space where I'm more aware of sharing, you know, it's you know, I talked to some guys and noticed how it's hard for them to be real transparent or really speak about what's going on in their life, you know, like, and then it's trying to, and so shifting it a little bit, or is there a way, can you make a guy feel comfortable enough to share, or like what's a good way to kind of warm a guy up to be able to share what's going on in their life? Because you ever meet somebody and you're talking to them and you could just see, like, man, you got a lot going on, don't you? You know, like you just see it, like the conversation, like it's even hard for them to have general conversations because it's so much going on. It's like you need to let this out. You know, you need to at least say it out loud so you can work on it, even if you hear it and be like, I need to let that go. You know, like just to talk about it. Are there ways, you know, because you've been in the game doing this longer than me, and how do you kind of make a guy feel comfortable enough, or is there to really speak about what's going on, to be honest about what's going on?
Now, you know, it's funny. You say, how do I make a guy feel comfortable? Just that
Right.
term makes me feel funny.
Right. I need you to say that.
I'm not trying to make
when I
it
said it, I was like, watch you say it.
You're like,
How do you
sounds
make
weird.
a guy feel nice?
no, but that's the issue. Like, I'm just going to do me.
Right, Rollins. Yeah.
You know, I don't speak about, hey man, you know, I want to make you feel comfortable, or
Right.
or you.
No, I mean, I know.
get it. No, I know I'm going somewhere with this. I'm being
Okay,
funny,
okay.
but I'm going somewhere with it.
All right.
I try to be as straight a shooter as I can.
Right.
You know, when I'm having a conversation with grown men.
Right. Right.
So it's different if I'm in a setting where it's grown men.
right.
I'm just talking,
Right.
and you know, you can tease me, I can take the tease. It don't matter, you know, in hopes that I'm breaking the ice.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you've seen me do that. You've seen an example of me.
Yeah.
You know, even when it comes to like prayer, prayer is a vulnerable thing for men.
Right. It
You know,
is.
I say, hey, somebody open up with a word of prayer, and the guy
Yeah.
says, well, I ain't praying. No, you pray. And I strongly
Sounds
encourage him
bad.
to pray, and he prays,
Right. Right.
and he doesn't get teased.
Right.
So now he's had a breakthrough,
Right.
right? I'm like, oh, you survived it. You didn't die.
Right.
So that's kind of how I am when it comes to men. Like but you know, like having conversations with my wife, you know, when we started in our relationship, like I had been married before, and I learned lessons from lack of communication.
Right.
So it was all about communicating. I was more of a communicator than my wife.
Right.
You know, she looked at me like I was weird, like I had three eyes because I was willing to talk.
Right.
You know, but and so what I'm saying, so it just depends on the situation. But again, from those early lessons, I've learned, you know, the best thing you can do is put it out there, because you're going to find out a whole lot faster who you're dealing with if you put it out there.
Right.
Like it's important for me to know who you are, and the best way for me to find out who you are is letting you know who I am.
Right.
I've lost a lot of male friends because of truth, because of me wanting to be honest, because of me sharing my feelings and them not wanting to, so they run. Because you can't have a conversation with me if you're not trying to have a real conversation, and a real conversation ain't just about the Lakers or the Jazz. You know, how you doing with your family? How's everything with you and your woman? How y'all doing? You know, and men typically, I'm not gonna say typically, in a lot of cases, men aren't ready to have a conversation with you about their woman.
Right.
Because we're so used to having to protect our women from our friends.
Right. Right.
I ain't telling you what's going on with me and my woman. I'm not giving you the playbook. You know.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had to grow up and realize, and this is funny, because I've been in rooms with men who wanted my wife.
Right. I got you.
But I grew up and I'm like, I got the mindset, and I said out loud, you can take her, but you'll bring her back.
Right.
And I'll be right here.
Right.
But what that sends a message, like, I'm not worried about you.
Right.
I have to trust my wife.
Right.
It ain't about you. It's about me and her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're solid enough.
Yeah. So it helps me. It loosens up your bravado, if you will.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I think, let's see, let me read some of these comments. Rollins says, but when you are mature and confident in who you are, the self-conscious factor goes down. Transparency is the easiest way to connect, as we all have flaws. Indeed. Richard says, some men will never be comfortable expressing their feelings, especially if they had a domineering mother. Interesting. Right, you have to trust your wife. Indeed.
Yeah.
But I think it's, going into it. Speaking of which, good morning.
Hey, she overheard. She look. Let it be clear, please. I endorse this comment. Please, lovely.
I think it is not being self-conscious, just being comfortable. And I think one of the things that makes it challenging, like I said, like Pastor, you always mention, all is well now with my life because, things are working together. I heard you, Pastor.
Thank you, lovely. Look, these folks need to know I'm telling the truth.
Right. Things are awesome now. Like, things are you're not problem free, but you're not where you used to be. And I think people see now and they're like, man, you don't know nothing about what I'm going through right now. Look at your life. You good. Yeah. You got a church, you got a fam, She said, I endorse this comment.
She's heard it breathing.
Right.
Heard it working.
And I think that is a big factor. You said, oh, gotcha. Oh, sorry. but yeah, I think that's a big factor as well. Um, but we have to, for me, like it took me a while just to, because I had that thought as well. Like I would see people like, you just seem like you're so together. You won't
Hmm.
understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
I look at the finished product and not what you've been through. But once you start sharing, that their people's response, because it's funny, like you ever going through like a financial moment and you share with someone that's kind of like pretty much always had their finances in line, and they give you, oh, just go to the bank, go get a line of credit.
Mhm.
Hey, Lady McCory, um, and for you, for those that have been through, it's like I get where you at. Like the credit's jacked. This is best. Like it's not as easy. Because someone that's always had their finances in line has done the right things. So when emergency come, they
Yeah.
can
When it
go.
comes to finance.
Yeah, fine. They can go to traditional places. And fix it. And sometimes, and I've had that, but when you talk to someone that has gotten past it, and they can give you the advice based on, I know where you've been, like it's gonna take time, credit's not easy when it's jacked up.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that's an easy conversation for the person who has kept their credit in order. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most. He is going down in history as one of the most dominant centers to ever play the game of basketball.
Uh-huh.
But he couldn't shoot free throws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you talk to somebody about having great credit, yeah, you did well with your finance, but you suck as a friend.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
my
right.
thing is like, let's stop
Yeah,
doing
that's
that.
good.
I mean, if this is an area where you excel in,
Yeah.
help. But if it's
Right.
not, say it.
Right. Right. Indeed.
That's all I'm saying, because you went to a class, somebody taught you about the value of credit. Great.
Right.
But they didn't teach you the value of calling somebody back. Everybody
Right.
has flaws. The Bible
Right.
says, for all of sin and falling short of the glory of God. Everybody has an area where they thrive, and everybody has an area where they need some assistance.
Yeah.
They need some encouragement.
Definitely.
And if we could all understand that we're all flawed and stop comparing flaws, then I think we would be more open and honest with one another. Right?
Yeah.
We are so judgmental. Everybody's afraid of getting talked about. And what I've learned is, yeah, they're going to talk about you like a dog today,
Right.
but it'll be somebody else next week.
Right.
You special, but you ain't that special. You might be the news of the day, but you're not the news of the year.
Right.
And even if you're the news of the year, that's 1 year.
Right.
How long you been on this planet? How long do you expect to be on this planet? You're gonna let 1 year a bad run? The Lakers didn't make it to the NBA Finals last year. They lost, and they lost early.
Right.
And this year, they absolutely look horrible.
Right.
But they're still next year.
Yeah.
Keep working, keep pushing, keep trying to communicate. Not everybody's going to receive what you have to say. Does that mean you stop talking?
Right. Exactly.
And again, this is what I've learned. And so when you talk about, you seem to have it all together. Okay, you didn't see me 12 years ago.
Right.
You didn't see me 20 years ago. I just look like this. You
Right.
don't know the scars.
Yeah.
So like, stop trying to define people.
Yeah.
Let their activities and their behavior
Right.
be your definition.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Rollins says, when you put yourself out there with transparency and you can see how it has impacted others in a positive way, the level of sharing is easier because it becomes your testimony. Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see.
Well,
how
that's when it works out great, when you know that you can help somebody. What's important is that you're helping somebody even in the midst of your haters, because not everybody's going to receive it positively. Somebody just wants the, what is it called? Somebody just wants what's the rumor mill? What do they call it? What's the term they use these days?
Oh,
Somebody just wants what do they call it?
I don't,
Term. The juice, the gossip.
you want the tea?
The tea.
They want
Tea. Somebody just wants the tea. Yeah.
Gotcha.
and let them spill it. It doesn't matter. I'm like, look, you're not gonna beat me telling it.
Right.
You know.
So Dr. Rollins said, "Been through the fire, just don't smell like the smoke." And
Yeah.
he said the tea. Yeah, the tea.
Yeah. T, you took me a minute.
So it took us a minute. We had to process a little bit. We had to process.
And look, and sometimes you've been through the fire and still have smoke on you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Definitely. So like I said, today we're talking about, are men afraid to be transparent? I don't think most are. And I believe that it's more freeing if we are able to really talk about our problems amongst each other, you know, what we're dealing with or what's our struggle. Because, you know, like you find out that some people have answers, and some people have been there and they can give you advice or even just support. Like I can't, you have the moments like, man, I've never been there and I can't imagine what that feels like, but I'm here,
Right.
I'm here to support you. Like,
Yep.
because
I don't necessarily have the answers.
yeah, you won't always have the answer. You don't have to worry about always just having the answer, or even the one that's sharing. You don't have to worry about other people having the answer. Sometimes it's just support. Sometimes it's just an ability to say it. Oh, that matters.
You got me thinking about my wife.
Oh,
I'll never forget one time. Oh yeah, it's in your hand. Yeah, my teeth. I'll never forget some years ago. My wife said, "Can I come home and tell you something without you trying to solve it?"
right.
I don't need you to solve it. I just need you to hear me.
Right.
Can you just listen? Can you just hear me without trying to solve it?
Yeah. What was gotta have a solution.
I felt
You
like
gonna tell me a problem? I gotta fix it.
That's how small I felt. Like, but I'm Superman.
Right. I'm solving everybody's problem in this house. What's your problem? Mama Corey said they cut me off. What happened? Who cut you off?
What you mean you got cut off, Mom? You mean like you got disconnected from the? Okay. Well, you're back now.
Let's see. So definitely having the ability to be transparent makes a difference. As you know, it's a freeing experience. And you don't have. He said, "Amen. Tell the truth."
It's true.
Oh,
I got that scar.
right. Oh, so yeah, definitely. It's a freeing experience. You don't feel like you're so bottled up. So anybody watching this on replay, any man that comes across this broadcast, don't be afraid to share. Find friends or male friends that you can share with and have real conversation with, because sometimes we sit on things way too long, and it hurts us. It's a damaging effect. It makes you relatable. Definitely. Because it's hard to over trying to talk. Well, I know for me, trying to talk around stuff, knowing I got something all in my chest that I'm just trying to talk about other things because I don't want to talk about what's got me hurting in my chest. They disagree with our comment, so they interrupt. They disagree.
She's talking about the algorithms on social media.
Oh, you must have. What'd you say? Because I know some things, if you say it, the thing will restrict your comments. Let's see. Well, sometimes we may just need a listening ear. The problem may have already been solved. He said, just listen. Right. We've already fixed it. Or it's already been figured out. I'm just a little frustrated. I just got to get it out. Say it out loud.
Don't worry about that. That's just her continuing to dig it. She's digging at me. I don't expose the wound.
Brought to you by.
We ain't getting ready to work that out on here, lovely. We ain't gonna work it out on here.
Still about the haters. I got
you. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
But it leads to other behavior. Like, here's what I found interesting. That like people enjoy having sex.
Right.
But sometimes sex is a defense mechanism. It's a deterrent to prevent you from having conversations.
Right.
You just need to get laid. right? Seriously,
Right.
you know, there's an increase. Sometimes people use sex to keep from having to talk about real issues.
Right.
In the same way sex can be used, other things can be used to avoid having these conversations. And then what happens is, you know, you're into something, and years later, you know, you don't have anything. You don't have anything to talk about,
Right. Right. Right.
right?
Right.
Because you spent all these years blocking, avoiding, you know,
Right.
and you end up apart anyway because you
Yeah.
never were able to comfortably open up to one another.
Yeah.
You know, and so you have to be aware of those deterrents. You know, let's go on a vacation.
Right.
Let's go out.
Right.
Let's hang out with a group of people. You know, you're always social.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be alone unless you're having sex.
Wow.
You know, that happens with people all the time
Right.
because it keeps them from having to open up to one another and talk about their feelings.
Right.
You know, don't be in love electronically. Have a
Right.
face-to-face conversation. You know, have
Yeah.
all these wonderful conversations via text, via phone chat, or whatever. And when you get together, you got nothing to say. You know,
Right.
I'm not your electronic lover.
Right.
You know, you got to look out for that stuff.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Richard said, I have more female friends than male friends, always have. And so maybe I need more male friends, but I don't often open up to men.
Yeah, well,
Indeed.
historically, women are easier to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richard think he's slick though.
I was waiting for you to say.
He said, no, they not.
You know what?
Women are not historically easier to talk to. Is
I think,
that what you're saying?
I mean, maybe, you know what it is? I think from let's say, women are not easier to talk to. I think, I think as a sounding board, I think like me telling you something, Pastor, as opposed to me telling random woman something, men are more likely to check a man on certain things he says. And I think a woman may not necessarily check a man on it. Honey, let's see. Honey, you know I value and appreciate you and I love you. She said, Daddy can fix it.
Tell these people.
All right. She says, Richard says, some are Samantha, some are not. But I think, as far as that cross kind of conversation, really, I think that, to me, that's what I think. That's what I feel. Like, I think it's just, when it's man to man, it's more like if I'm serving you some nonsense, you're going to check me on it. Like, dude, you wrong. Dude, that ain't right. Where I think as like I said, a random woman, I'm not even talking about wife, I'm talking about random woman, will just kind of hear you out, and may not check you on your nonsense.
Nah, I don't know. A lot of men will do that. A lot of men will hear you out,
Right.
and then go talk about you to another dude. That's the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
We need more men
Yeah.
to call it out.
Yeah.
Not enough men are doing that. That's why we have, what do you think fraternity? Then like all that stuff is supposed to be for accountability.
Right.
Right. People want to have an accountability partner, but then fail to be accountable.
Right.
How many think about this. How many brothers started on BOL?
Right.
What happened?
Yeah.
Seasons change. They absolutely do change. But how much of that is because of the movement of the clouds, and how much of that is because of the movement of your emotions?
Right. Indeed. Indeed.
So
let's see. Sean Rollins says women deal better with the emotional side of things, but the emotion gets the heart of a matter.
I don't know if they deal better with it.
Yeah.
I think women because to me, everybody's emotional.
Right.
Not everybody shows it.
Right. That is true.
I think women's emotions are more visible. In a lot of cases, But today, I don't even. It's difficult to say today. I wonder what the analytics will say today.
Right.
You know, because you think about a man who's always angry, with a man with anger issues, right? That's emotion.
Right.
Somebody who can't stop cracking jokes.
Oh. Right.
That's compensation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're compensating. So I just it just depends.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, and I'm saying it here this morning, and maybe I need to correct myself and not try to weigh too heavily on one side or the other, because we're in a different world today.
Right.
You know, crime today looks a whole lot different than it looked 50 years ago.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Relationship building looks a whole lot different today
100%.
than it looked
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Indeed. Let's read some of these. Let's scroll. All right. Said. Well, Sam was saying women do the same thing. I guess go tell somebody, or not help. Learning. Rollins says learning to deal better with emotional thoughts.
But what does that mean? How, when you say learning to deal better with emotional thoughts, what do you mean? Sean Rollins needs to be on here today.
Yeah. I don't know what your spacing looks like. Let me know. I can. We'll key you in. Let's see. Some men. Richard said some men are clueless and some are clued up.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
He said I have men and female accountability partners.
That's good.
Okay. Oh, easier to speak upon it. I guess with emotions.
Yeah.
I see. Richard said I'm often an open book, easy to read, and when I'm closed book, watch out, something is brewing. This is just my opinion. If you are willing to communicate and listen, you are easy to talk to, whether you're a man or a woman. Yeah, indeed.
That's facts.
Indeed.
That's facts.
All right. So yeah. So listen, we appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us on this edition of the Brothers Legacy. I think somebody should be coming on tomorrow, like one of our other brothers. So I might continue this conversation, just kind of shifted a little bit. But I like this conversation about being transparent, and the transparency of men and some of the struggles that come with it. But we'll tweak it a little bit. All right. So, like, again, make sure you share. Make sure you let everybody know that the Brothers of the Legacy are in the building. Let's see. And make sure you watch out tonight. The Sisters of Legacy, they'll be on. You'll be getting notification. And if you've been missing their notification, be sure to join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. Never miss anything that's happening with the brothers and the sisters and the purpose. All right. And real quick, before we get out of here, I always like to, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to call this segment. I'm calling it my Just One Thought segment. And definitely, Pastor, if you got one thought. So I was looking into this inflation thing that's happening around the country and how, is it really because of supply and demand, or are companies being greedy? And I say that because I was watching a podcast, Jon Stewart, I don't know if you heard from The Daily Show. Mm-hmm. He started a podcast, and it's really good. Like, he's digging into some stuff just to make you kind of think, and had an economist on, and they've been going through the earnings reports, because it's earnings season. And if you don't know what earnings reports, that's basically companies, publicly traded companies, are sharing with their shareholders why they're doing well, why they're doing bad, and things of that nature. And by law, things that are shared on the earning calls have to be true. Like, it has to be true information by law. And basically, the gist of it is they're excited because their margins are higher. They're earning more money because of their higher margins. Now, if there's a supply and demand issue and the cost of goods have gone up, then the margin should be the same. Like, it shouldn't be like some great spike in sales. So
if the cost of goods has increased,
right,
then the price of goods will increase.
Right.
Then the margins remain the same.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. But if I'm killing it in higher margins, then am I just raising prices?
Right. And the cost of goods has remained the same, but you're still raising prices.
Right.
Yeah.
So just a thought.
No, that's real.
Thought. You know, just kind of like taking advantage of a situation. And they mentioned, you know, some laws like with, hey, great mastermind tonight, AD. Some laws prevent from gouging. You know, like when a hurricane hits, people can't overcharge for stuff just because, you know, people need it, you know. And so she talked about, and it was like I said, an economist, and she was just speaking about laws preventing folks gouging based on the supposed inflation, you know what I'm saying, taking advantage of a situation. So just a thought. That was my thought today, that I just wanted to share with you guys and see what you guys think. You can put in the comments now, later, and let me know what you think about that.
Or have
Pastor, do you have a thought or something that you've seen that you can share, that you wanted to share?
Yeah. There's still police officers are still putting their knees on people's throats, people's necks.
Yeah.
You know, Rialto, California, 12-year-old girl in a middle school gets the officer's knee on her neck because she got in a fight with another little girl. 13-year-old girl riding a little motorized bike in her neighborhood, didn't give the police her name. She asked one of her friends to go get her mom. As soon as she turned and asked a friend to go get her mom, the police throws her on the ground and puts his hand on her throat, choking her, talking about, you trying to fight me? 13-year-old little girl, 2 police officers wrestling her to the ground. You know, she's screaming.
Wow.
I mean, this stuff is, it's crazy. Another Kenosha incident with a cop putting his knee in a little girl's neck.
Right.
You know, so this stuff is still happening.
Right.
It's still happening. And it's still happening in Kenosha.
Right.
So yeah, that's a thought that I have that really bothers me, that we have not made enough progress when it comes to that.
Right.
And you know, we can argue about, and I think, you know, I tell young people, listen, you need to comply with police. Stop fighting.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you're fighting, you're going to lose. Right. Now your family could file a lawsuit, but it doesn't change the damage.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to pick your battles. And I'm saying, parents, talk to your children.
Right.
Stop teaching your children to raise up on police. I'm not telling you to fall down and let them know. What I'm saying is comply and fight a different battle. Yeah. Because you got to get home. Definitely. You know, I want our babies to make it home. Definitely. So we have to be educating our children, because what I can't understand is these police officers will act out of line, but I can't deny that young people are acting unsmart.
Right. Indeed. Just comply. Yeah. I guess. I mean, I do agree. And just comply. Just comply and get through the moment. Just get through the moment. And if you got
I'm not raising up on no police officer. I'm not raising up on a police officer.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to do what they instruct me to do. Right. You know, if you're trying to get me, it will truly be me defending my life.
Right.
You know. Yeah. But I'm going to begin with complying.
Right.
I'm not going to be in there. What you stop me for, and you don't have a right to. I'm not trying to tell the police what the law is.
Right.
You know.
Fight it.
I'm trying to get home to my family.
Yeah. Just do what you need to do. All right. So appreciate you guys. And honestly, like, that's to me like that's where the reform starts. It's not, and honestly, I want to almost take away the racial component, and what I mean by that is just change just needs to happen in the police departments, period. You know, like just the attitudes and the way approaches just need to change altogether. All right. He said, follow instructions first, ask questions later. Yeah. Definitely, when you get the opportunity. Just you know, it's tense out there. All right, so we appreciate you guys. Continue to stay safe. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Know that we love you. God loves you more. And just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Just comply. All right. See you in the AM. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for rocking, hanging, being with us. Sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show.